Hello, as you see, we are a group of three members. We are working on the project of, dinner party. I personally am Shedin Hakiman.
I'm Obed.
I'm Alphonse&Jeredi.
So as you see, each of our group of the group members had three parts to work on for different culture, where you have to make the online research and the one for field research. So let me start with the one who is left of my side to talk about his findings.
Okay, thank you, Shered. As I said, my name is Obed Ogero. I worked in Benchfena, Dutch, and then I went ahead and worked on India's culture. Finally, I worked in my own community called Kisin, where I did a field research. Starting from Benchfena, Dutch, this is a community that is located in German. It has got some couple of traditions that it performs to make them unique. The first thing they do, they prepare their food in a manner that it's sweet and salt, so that to differentiate them from the other tribes that are within there. Then there's another unique thing that they do, which is making fermented cabbage, which they mix with some foods to make them unique in a manner that they celebrate when it is towards the end of the year. And then I went ahead and worked in India, whereby I got that there are two traditional tribes in India that dominates a lot. The first one is the southern India and the northern and the southern India, whereby the southern India, when they are doing their weddings, they prepare a lot of meats. They prepare a lot of meats, and the northern, they actually feature a lot in vegetarians. The southern India, they actually classified in terms of not participating in Buddhism. That's why they take a lot. They take meat. As we know, Indians mostly they don't take meat when you are believing in Buddhism. That's the same people from the northern part of it. Then I went ahead and worked on a field research, whereby I did a lot in my community, which is called Kisi. I met three old-aged women who prepare some roko brew that is done towards the end of the end here, basically in December. That's when they do it. And then they brought me into some kind of understanding that they put a clause when they are preparing that brew. It's actually made for old men who are aged 35 years old, and it's made towards the end of year, mostly in December, to celebrate and join them together. I found out that there are so many commonalities between these three tribes, whereby we see in the tribe of Dutch, they prepare those fermented cabbages towards the end of the year to celebrate the end of the year, so that to hope that the next coming year will be fine like the other that has passed, or rather, if the gone here has had some problems, they expect that the future year will be fine. The same thing applies to the Kisi community, whereby they prepare the brew, joining the community together and making sure that the year that is coming, they are welcoming, is going to be fine. That's the research I made.
So thank you. Actually, I was interested with your sharing,
okay,
because I tried to get so many things interesting.
Okay.
So, and I was interested to get more about your culture. So, could you tell me about it, what you told me about the culture in your tribe, about how they make the brew?
Oh, yeah, it's actually very simple. The brew itself, it's called ebusa. That's what they call it. And then they actually mix some water with some flour, maize flour, and they leave it to kind of stay for a little, so that to come together. They cook it after it has stayed like 2 days, and then they put it in water, mix with yeast, and then it becomes like a local brew, like another brew, but it's local one. Yeah, it's very sweet.
Thank you very much. I did understood about it. So I think that's very interesting. You asked the question, that's what I'd like to ask you. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, so me too. I have worked on the culture of about the portrait. Actually, portrait was the act of gift giving, which was practiced by the native people in the Pacific Northwest coast. This culture was practiced during the party, where they invited the different people from different culture, where they prepared different kinds of food and drinks to share. So where I found that the kind of food they based on were included the coast salish, bera, kora, hainda, and trinity. Actually, all of this, I have found that they used them for the entertainment and their celebrities. So also, I have worked on the culture of tailgating at the football games. So actually, I have tried to go through the different, I have made different research to get more meaning about this culture, where I have found that this culture was a tradition where people in America, called tailgaters, used to have different sharings where they can have it where they could share different kinds of food and drinks at the football playground. Actually, they could meet as different individuals where so many people were interested to share different kind of food, where they could even entertain different people like the fans and the players who were coming at the playground. Also, I have worked on the culture in Rwanda called Ubunyano. Actually, Ubunyano was the culture where different people could meet with the purpose of having a ceremony to give a name to the young baby. This word Ubunyano was originated from the situation where they could cook a kind of food made of like a kind of vegetables and sorghum bread. Actually, this food was like a less organized way. It was looking like a porridge, and the old people were considering it as baby's worst, and that is why they are calling it onyano. Yes. Also, at that time, different old people could meet together, having different names to give it to a baby, where one member of the family could select one name, could select both names, where they could wake up in the early morning to pick only one name to give it to a young baby, so that they can like having the one name to present their born. So actually, this is all about what I have done, and I have tried to compare both culture, and I have found that the one for the portrait, they could make for this to have a ceremony where they could have harmony, and also the same to the tailgating. Also, it could bring people together where they can have sharing and increase their unity. And the same in Rwanda. When they were going to give a young baby a name, they could have a kind of ceremony where people could meet and have different sharing and increase their harmony. Thanks.
Okay, thank you for your presentation, and I would like to know, there's a name you called the traditional Rwanda?
Yeah, Unyano.
Unyano.
Yeah.
So it was made for people who were supposed to eat that food, I don't know.
Yeah, people who were supposed to eat that food or the young kids.
Oh, young kids.
The young kids are the ones who were supposed to eat that kind of food because they had their special food.
Yeah, follow-up questions. Okay, you said that they pick a name after just making a collection of those names. Does it mean that they didn't just prepare the name before just collecting those names for themselves?
They had, but they have to consider what other people have provided.
Okay. So thank you very much. Let me keep on just also to share with you what I did while conducting my own observation. So first of all, just I was working on the Hawaiian poi and the Japanese rice. While conducting my field just research, I was just observing about umuganura. So let me start on Hawaiian poi. It's very interesting when you were in this culture. Hawaii is like an island. Poi is a food. This food is like a food which is more just liked by these people from Hawaii, because this food is very important because when their ancestors arrived in that island, there was not another alternative to survive. There was no food, there was no way for just feeding themselves. So they found out the way that they can feed themselves, whereby they use a tree which is called the tro. Then they take the roots, the roots of those trees, then they make a food. You can imagine how they make it. So it is very interesting. This food, when you are going to make it, first of all, there are some rituals that you have to know. You have to cut your nails, and if you are girls, you have to tie your hairs. If just you are boy, you have to make sure you don't have a cut. So if you are girl, so you have to put off all rings and other nails polished, so that you make a very good food, which is not a dates. So another thing just you have to know, if you are going to make this food, first of all, you have to use a stone pounder and what we call wooden board. So you crush those steam, then it become like a paste, smooth paste. Then you add some water, then you try to make it till it becomes like a paste which is very smooth. That is what we call poi. So this food has certain history because it portrays significant meaning in their culture, because it was just an energizing food because it helped the ancestors to survive when they was in that island. So while sharing this food, they sit on the floor, they sit on the mat, then they enjoy, they become very happy because they remember how that country was developing from the ancestors. So when sharing, the people who share is those people who are in a lower middle status, who have lower middle status, because those who are just in a high level of the class, they are saved, they are served, they are not the owner of serving. So on this food also, when they are eating this food, they enjoy, it is very interesting, they feel very proud of this food. In the school also they eat it. Since you are going to eat this food, make sure that every meal that you consume this food in their culture. Going on to the second one, it was Japanese rice. Japanese rice is this rice just have history. When I was reading, I found that in the Second World War, they are soldiers. They have to eat this rice because they should spend at least 2 days without eating because it's very energizing. So when you are cooking this food, you have to use what you call Japanese cooker. So you have to make sure that your food is very sticky to the texture, so that you can use what we call chopstick. You can imagine what chopstick is a small stick they use for Japanese. Is not a spoon, is a stick they use for taking those sticks, then they eat it. That kind of food also, it portrays significant meaning, what we call like a currency, because previously they didn't have money. So for getting a service and another good, you have to give me a bag of rice, then I give you what I need, what you want. If for instance you want a matok, you give me a rice and I give you also the matok. It was like the currency in that period. That's why it is very interesting in their history. When you say rice to Japanese, they understand something which is very important. And also an additional thing that you have to keep in mind, if you don't have rice to your meal, means that you don't have anything to eat in their culture. So make sure that when you are going in that country, you just be enjoying the rice from Japanese. Coming on the field, I was working on what we call umuganura. Umuganura, it is when Rwandese are celebrating the first year harvest that they are getting in that period by preparing the next upcoming season to how they can just prepare accordingly so that they can get a harvest. While just celebrating in their rituals, they eat a food which is called the maize. They eat maize because it is very good, it portrays some meaning because it is very energizing when you consume it. Also, all old women, old man, children, and also their leaders, they sit and they share. When I approached the one women, some women, they told me that in the history of Rwanda, their ancestors, they used to do this umuganura so that they can just be able to prepare next season so that their country can be very stable in economics. Coming on the conclusion by summing up all what they have in common is in commonalities. So all when they are sharing, it's like the kind of patriotism to their countries. It's about holding their legacy. It's all about just sensitizing peace among the people. Also, it brings unity among themselves. So thank you very much for just listening. I don't think that you have questions. If there is any questions, I'm here so that to answer the question that you would like to ask me.
So instead of umuga?
Umuganura.
Umuganura.
Yeah.
What's that?
Umuganura. It is like to to take a taste of the first harvest. Yeah, the taste of first harvest, meaning you haven't just put the harvest in your house, but the first harvest you have to share with
Oh,
your
celebrate
friend.
together. Oh, yeah, I understand. And the Japan, you said Japanese, they use, are those things I see in the movie using the sticks when they're eating?
Yeah, exactly, you
Oh,
get it.
instead of us using spoons.
Yeah, they
Okay.
use a chopstick.
Okay.
Quick.
Okay, thank you.
So good. This is the end of this presentation. Thank you for attention. Thanks.
Okay.